So tell me, how would the average person that didn't have your resources have broken into that business? So you had the idea, you go high level, but what would an average person do that had to say, I want to open up a card shop or just a card business? You probably, I guess, started off strictly online without a physical location.
What's interesting is online was called live breaking. That's been happening at scale now, where entrepreneurial kids are just opening up boxes and packs and selling it over the internet, mostly through Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So there's these kids that are literally, there's 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds that are doing 5 figures and 6 figures a month from their apartments, or from their parents' apartments, sorry. They're not even living by themselves. And they're just ripping open boxes and packs online, and people are paying for that. That's happening at scale. I literally know 15 and 16-year-olds that did $450,000 last month from a bedroom.
With cards or toys?
No, selling cards, selling packs of cards. It's mind-boggling. Their startup cost was just their first few boxes and packs. And let's say that they bought that box and pack for $100. They would sell it online for $120 or $140, open it up for somebody, and then ship it to them. Then they got a little bit more money because they did it a few times. Now they got $500, $1,000. Now instead of selling for $1,000, they sell for $1,200 or $1,300. That's called live breaking. They're taking boxes and packs, putting a margin on it, opening it up on the internet for people from their homes. There's no startup capital besides the boxes and packs and your cell phone. And then they ship the cards out.
So in other words,
what you did today, that's what it was.
You're opening, that was my box. I opened it up live.
Yep.
All right. So let's say, someone from somewhere else in the country or in the world wants to buy a box from you. They can purchase that box through your website.
Yes.
What is the website, by the way?
Thecoffeebreakers.com.
Thecoffeebreakers.com. And they'll buy it. And then you can actually watch it being opened live, so everyone in the world gets to see your cards being opened.
Exactly.
That's
so much fun. And you're getting the stories, like you saw that kid today.
He really knew his stuff, that guy.
Right? He's sitting there explaining everything about the players, the situations, the names, the teams. Oh, they switched to this team, that team. So it's fun. It's an experience in that moment. And then we ship the cards to them.
So in the case, I'm not sure if you were focusing on every card that came out of that pack, but what was the cost of that pack?
So that was a $900 box.
And what do you think the sum total of all those cards were if you had sold them one by one?
There's 5 main cards that you got there that will kind of make the box break even. So I'd probably guess you'd get between $900 and $1,400. Got it. So a good box, you would make $3,000 to $7,000. And if you hit the big cards, you could obviously make over $10,000. Got it. A bad box would be $200, $300, $400. So you can't lose money. It's a form of gambling. Sure. The difference is with your $900 in a casino, you're probably going to end up with zero. Nothing to show for it, right? Nothing. With this $900, you're always going to get cards. Now, that value or those cards, we don't know. We know how much they are worth now. We don't know it's for the future. So I think people have that same gambling feeling to the game of it, of buying the live breaks, but they're going to get in the mail a bunch of cards, and there's more emotional attachment than playing in a casino or betting on sports and then having nothing. So if you know about sports, that's very interesting for this. What I mean by that is people that are good at fantasy sports or like to bet on sports, I see a lot of them coming to the sports card industry, because if you think you know the players so well, you know the team so well, why not make a bet on buying Luka Doncic or Zion Williamson and buy 30 of those for $1,000 instead of betting $1,000 with your local bookie or DraftKings? Right.
Makes sense. So what's your next step now? So you have a shop open.
Yep.
It's doing major volume online, right? I mean, you want to say how much you're doing or not disclose it yet?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. So we average $1,000 to $2,000 per hour, and we're adding on multiple channels. We run between 4 and 14 hours a day. That's just the internet part of it. Right. The front side of the store does 6,000 to 25,000 per day. It's a small sample size, right? It's only been 18 days since we opened. Right. 6,000 to 25,000 a day up front, and then 1,000 to 2,000 an hour in the back. Ideally, we'll end up being 24 hours a day. Right. And we'll have multiple channels, because right now we open up soccer, then baseball, then Pokemon, then football, then Pokemon, then basketball, then Pokemon, all in one channel. We're going to make it where it's a Pokemon channel, a soccer channel, a football channel, a baseball channel. And because we have so many interesting characters and celebrities, and the Wolf of Wall Street today, and Steve Aoki tomorrow, and DJ Ski the next day, we're going to have a global audience so that we will be able to do that $1,000 to $2,000 an hour on multiple different channels.
Unbelievable. So for someone that wants to get really serious, they start off with what? Buy a box? Is it just buy a box? Is that what you recommend?
Yeah. Or you can practice. You can buy really cheap boxes. Like if you buy 80...
What should you buy? Like if you I want people to really check this out because I thought it was pretty cool. The vibe was like really awesome. And I want you to just experience this, what I experienced today. So you go to Coffee Makers. Is it?
Yeah, the Coffee Breakers.
The coffeebreakers.com, right?
Yep.
So now they could buy a box. Anyone could do this.
They could buy a box. They could buy one pack. Or they can pitch in together and buy it together.
So a bunch of friends can get together.
Yeah, they could all put them $20 each, $50 each. Yeah.
And then no matter who you are, they'll open it. You guys will open it up online.
Yep. And they can go onto the Instagram. It's at the Coffee Breakers. And we're live most of the day. And we do giveaways all the time to make it fun. So a lot of people are watching. Like today, they were watching. We were opening your box. We weren't selling anything.
Right. We're also giving away free stuff.
We're just giving away fun stuff.
Yeah.
And so we do that every hour just to make it fun. And so in that moment, 8 friends can put up $20 each. They pay $160. They buy a couple packs, and then they'll go live and open those packs for them and then ship it to them. Or they can say, hey, we'll get these cards graded for you, or we can help sell these cards for you, etc.
Is there a certain hold time you recommend on these investments? Is it like a 6-month hold, a 1-year hold, a 2-year hold?
So it depends. There's some cards you're betting on a legacy. Luka Doncic, John Morant, Zion Williamson. These are guys that are winning Rookie of the Year, MVP, etc. You're hoping that they have a Michael Jordan type LeBron James legacy 10, 20 years from now. Amazing, right? But some of these cards have gone up so much. Luka was $70 last year. Now he's $1,400. Like Giannis was, a $300 card. That's a $3,400 card now. These aren't little increases. You're talking about 1,100%, 2,000%. Like that's insanity. Like when we invest, I'm happy to if I made 5-10% a year on something, it's great, right? If I make 20 or 30%,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm going to send a letter to all my friends.
Right.
So when I talk about these things, that's why it's messed with a lot of people's heads. That's why so many guys are getting in and investing so much into sports cards. The returns it's hard to grasp. When we're going to be talking about diversified assets, this is one of the most unique moments in history.
Where would you say we are in the cycle?
So we're at a semi-peak in between. So what happened was last year it became repopularized. Right when COVID hit, it just went through the roof. It's very strange because no sports were happening and people were locked in their homes. The sports card market from March till now had a humongous spike. And then when the NBA season ended, it had a drop off. So then, boom, there's like a 10, 20, 30% drop off because it had a big increase from 200 to 500%, which is way too much because so many people came into the industry. As soon as NBA is not on TV anymore, LeBron James wins the championship. Woohoo! Well, the next morning it's crickets, right? Because the excitement goes away. You will then see most likely another spike back when preseason starts. So there is an ebb and flow of this whole thing, just like a cycle. But overall, what's fascinating is there's just so much more access now. In the 80s and 90s, this happened before where huge spike, everybody went crazy, millions of cards. Then they call it what's called the junk wax era. Way too many cards were printed and not enough ways for people to buy it. And so there was way too much supply, not enough demand.
Right.
Now we're in a difference. The sports cards companies, Topps, Prism, etc., they finally realized we cannot overprint these things. If they overprint these things, they can hurt the whole market. Luckily, all the cards that we're fighting for, Luka, Zion, Ja, etc., those are not going to be printed more of.
Sure, yeah.
So,
all right. So for a lot of people, this whole COVID thing has created a really tough time of it. And unfortunately, that means falling behind on your bills. Also, maybe getting a bit overwhelmed financially, right? So here's what you can't afford to let happen. What you can't afford is to have bad credit as a result. A bad credit score can make it really difficult to get a loan. It'll make it much more expensive to buy a house one day or a car. Now, Credit 101 and their team of experts can fix this problem for you and repair your bad credit straight away. They're really offering you a second chance, basically. See, Credit 101 is over 20 years of combined experience. They fixed over 50,000 clients' credit with some of the best results in the entire industry. 50,000 people. It's crazy, right? They're honest. They're transparent. They deliver on their promises. And here's the deal. Right now, for Wolf's Den listeners, Credit 101 has a special 60% off discount. 60% off. And to claim that, all you got to do is visit thecredit101.com/wolf. And instead of paying their normal fee of $2,500, you'll get their full credit repair service for $1,000 flat. And there's no hidden fees, no strings attached, just an honest, transparent solution to a problem that you literally cannot afford to let go. You just can't let it sit if you got bad credit. Listen, guys, I'm being really real with you right here. Do not let yourself sit with bad credit. It costs you in so many ways, you'll never stop paying for it. So if you got bad credit or if you're even worried about your credit, Credit 101 is there to help. I want you to drop what you're doing right now and visit thecredit101.com/wolf. Claim your 60% off offer now. Again, that's thecredit101.com/wolf.